the next few years, how much of an increase are you expecting to make in your income? And for most people, I'll say 2%. So with that 2%, how much do you think you won't spend? You plug that in. So now you have the ability of saying, here's how much money is going to go through your fingers over the next few years that most people never even think about.
Right.
The next step is to say, all right, are there obligations that you're going to be paying off or you see yourself taking on? And it allows you to plug those in. Then it takes you to savings and ask the question of the money you have left after you pay your bills. What percentage of it are you going to put aside for savings? And how much do you want to have for an emergency fund so that when that unexpected hiccup happens, you're prepared. You know what's going to happen. You'll have the money ready. You then have the ability of saying, okay, well, what kind of money do I think, what kind of interest do I think I'm going to earn on my money? And if you're one who tends to be a bit more sophisticated of being able to split between something that's very low risk to something that's what you call balanced to something that's more aggressive, you're able to define and plug those amounts in and actually split up the dollars over where you want them to go. And with that, you'll actually see how much money you'll have using a conventional approach over the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It'll show you the projected balance. Now, the one thing it doesn't do, it doesn't take into account taxes. It just shows the power of compounding. But as I've had some people tell me, if somebody is doing something like an indexed universal life product, they decide to do something like that, well, that's a pretty good assimilation to what that would look like. And so now you've got your cash flow. Now you have what you can expect to see in savings. And now the next piece is now you go to a particular debt that you want to get rid of. And frequently it could be a student loan for people who've come out of, back to your point, somebody who's just gotten married.
Right.
They may have law school debt. They may have debt from an MBA. They may have debt from coming out of nursing school. Or they could have their mortgage. Any one of them, they can select it. Or it could be credit card debt. And it captures that and what the terms are. And then what's a bit of a new twist, you put in the terms of using a very small line of credit, which doesn't need to be more than 1.5 times the income the user deposits in their bank every month. And now we're using that to create our own loan with an effective rate of like 1.5% or 2%.
Wow.
And so it's like you're refinancing debt at a really low rate. So